Shalom, shalom, shalom. To my brothers and sisters that's scattered across the four corners, 12 tribes of Yasharel, the house of Yehuda. Count our joy, brothers and sisters, that we're still above ground, but the fight is never over. A lot of y'all are trying to figure out what's going on this earth. We already know we're in the last days, but we're called to be obedient to the Most High. And sometimes being obedient is not what people think it should be. Or, by you being obedient, everything's going to work out the way it's supposed to work out in your favor, but it doesn't work that way. Being obedient is doing the things that He called for you to do. And a lot of these things cause you to move away from family, friends, jobs. Sometimes you have to just go away from people that you used to and that you're accustomed to being around, regardless what they've done to you in your life. My story and my testimony is I've been behind the eight ball ever since I was birthed on this earth. I can speak on this situation about what I've been through in my life because I don't overcome a lot of things. And I can speak my story without coming from a place where I'm still traumatized, or still have any ill feelings towards people. But I was never the type of person that had negative feelings towards anybody, regardless of what they did to me. I always gave people a chance, opportunity. But this time around, I know better because I had to learn from my mistakes. Everybody goes through something. Everybody goes through some type of hardship, some type of pain. But at the end of the day, I put it like this. I went through a lot of stuff from family. I'm talking about in-house. People in the church, people in my community, people on the job, past relationships, dark covens, secret societies, Illuminati's, practitioners, and people witches and warlocks and wizards. I done been through everything that, the government, people, military, FBI, CIA agents, people that's off the grid, snipers, people gang stalked. I've been through everything. I've been through humiliation rituals through my family. I've been bullied as a kid, as a child. I've been overlooked and everything else, and people stole from me. I've been through all type of stuff, and I'm still here by the grace of the Most High. I know who I am. I know my value, and I know my worth. And I want better for my life, and I'm going to do better for my life, and I'm going to achieve nothing but greatness and great things. I'm going to be who I am that He created me to be, and I am who I am. This is my time. Regardless what my family, what the world thinks, it doesn't matter what they think. It matters what the Most High think of me and what I think of myself. And I know who I am. I'm His son. I'm made in His image and His likeness. I was set apart. Before He knew me, before I was conceived in my mother's womb, He knew me. So I am the house on the hill that cannot be hidden. I am the salt of the earth. I am the blueprint. I am that one. But this is not arrogance. I just know who I am, and I'm thankful and grateful to the Most High that He woke me up. And He qualified the call. And so I'm thankful and I'm grateful for that. I'm not going to dim my light because people don't want it for me. When I mean people, I mean people. I'm talking about my family. I got family that deals in divination. The community I was born and raised in and stuff. There's a lot of darkness. There's a lot of pagan and heathen practices here. A lot of devil worships here. Idol worshipers and everything else. People done stole from me. People done lied to me. People done set me up. People done shot at me, pulled guns on me. I done went through all type of mess. But I'm still here, and there's still an empty grave When they dug a pit for me, he reached out his hand. So I give him all esteem. Rumamu Yahuwah, to the Yahuwah, Braka Yahuwah. I'm grateful and I'm thankful. I humble myself before his throne. I delight in his presence. I surrender and I submit to him. And I repent. This is a daily thing. And my story is that got me in my wilderness season right now. But I'm grateful for the wilderness season. I'm grateful for the isolations there where I have to learn how to know who I am and learn how to do these things that he's called for me to do. And it's not glamorous. I'm a man in this. I'm a man with no honor in this hometown. I meet with oppositions every day, but the thing is, things don't work. I'm out here in my wilderness, separate from people that supposed to love me, supposed to care for me and stuff like that, but they don't. And I'm okay with that because it's bad, but it doesn't affect me no more. I used to cry out. I used to wonder why and all this stuff, but it doesn't matter why. I just know these are lessons that I have to learn. And so I'm going to continue to let my light shine. And I'm not going to let nobody see me sweat. I'm going to hold my head up. I'm going to keep speaking life and keep showing up and keep doing the things he called for me to do. And I'm going to speak on the things that I know. And ain't nobody going to be able to tell me about myself better than myself. I've done that before. And the result, when I spoke my truth, and somebody told me that I don't care what nobody say about you, I'm always going to love you. And I'm always going to remember that. And I know there's people out there that's petitioning and plowing for me, which means praying for me. But we don't use the word prayer because a prayer is a derogatory thing. That's one thing about the Most High. He said in the book of Zephaniah, chapter 9, that he's going to restore a pure language. See, we spoke Hebrew, Abrik, Dabarim. That means we didn't speak this Greek how we speaking now. We didn't speak English how we speaking now. The Creator's name is Yahuwah or Alua or Alua or modern day Hebrew, Aramaic, Elohim. We are the descendants of Yaakov, which is Jacob. In the Hebrew language that we spoke, when it was beaten out of us, this is what we spoke. There was no letter J, I, E, W, V, S. So JC is a false Messiah. God is God Rel, a fallen angel that deceived Eve in garden. See, in the book of Enoch, I remember growing up as a child, and one of the Bibles I had, they had the book of Enoch, and they got the Hallelujah scriptures, and you got the Holy Scriptures, and now the oldest book, the oldest text is the Ethiopian Bible. It speaks on missing books, the Apocrypha and stuff like that, the Dead Sea Scrolls. And there's texts out here, that a lot of people don't know nothing about. That the enemy, they don't want us to know. We are true Hebrews. We're the true we from the true descendants of Yasharel, which is Israel. So I'm gonna continue to walk in my purpose, continue to walk in my power, keep on shining my light. I got all authority and stuff like that. So we're just not here to brag or boast or thinking I'm better than anybody, but I know my value and I know my worth. I know how important. I know I got things I have to do. But I'm just letting y'all know. So no matter what you're going through in your life, just know that I know what you're going through. I know exactly how you feel. I know what's coming up against you. I know what's going on in this world. So just know that I know, and there's always a better way. There's always hope. I still exist. There's still an empty grave. And the Most High loves you and cares for you. He wants his children back. It's time for the remnant, the set-apart ones, the set-apart nation, the 12 tribes of Yasharel, the house of Yehuda. It's time for us to wake up, to repent, surrender to the Most High, obey his statutes, laws, and commandments, because that's what he's required of us to do in the first place. He never changed. He stays the same. His word doesn't come back void. It says you see it when when Yahushua HaMashiach, the Son of Man, it was written about him. It was written about me. He said, those who does the will of my Father. What's the will of my Father? To obey his statutes, laws, and commandments. Book of Hebrews, he said, those who does the will of my Father, they will inherit the kingdom of heaven. What's the will of the Father? Obey the statutes, laws, and commandments. He will pour his He will put his laws, his commandments on their hearts and in their mind. This is why we speak it. You know, this is my job to let y'all know. But at the end of the day, you know, I'm a man with no honor. I sleep on benches every night. You know, I try to get it out the mud. I don't have nobody standing next to me. But I know I'm never alone because I got the Most High with me. With that Ruach HaKodesh, which people call the Holy Spirit. You know, his Kadosh flame. So I'm grateful and I'm thankful that I exist, that I'm awoke. I know who I am and I know my value. You know, the world, my enemies didn't want it for me. My enemies, my mom, my brothers, my aunties. I got aunties that's devil and divination, witches and stuff like that. I got cousins that's in factions, you know, with Freemasonry and all this stuff. I got all these people coming up against me, and I'm still standing. I'm still here. See, it's one thing about me. The Most High don't play about me, and I don't play about him. I got the Malachims, which is the angels, and I got my ancestors. And I got support from the divine council, which is in the heavenly realm. See, this is a spiritual thing, you know. So continue to hold your head up. Continue to trust and believe and hold on to his promises. There's a lot of people that's out here suffering. There's a lot of people that got ideas, but society, see, a lot of people don't understand that people trying to figure out why they're going through what they're going through, and a lot of people gave up hope. And a lot of them just succumb to drugs and alcohol, you know, just living a rebellious life. They're not living by the fruit of the Spirit. So that narrow path that we walk, it's a narrow path. You know, it's easy for a camel to go through an eye of a needle than a rich man to get into heaven. See, pride and selfishness is the root of all evil. And the love of money leads to all type of idolatry. So there's a lot of people out here on this earth that are doing anything for money. They will worship different things just for money because people like money. Money is currency, you know. But when you put money above the Creator, that's idol worship. We don't put nothing above the Creator. We don't put our families, we don't put our kids, we don't put nothing. You know, we do for our kids. He favored us. He baraked us. Baruched us. That means bless. You know, a lot of these words, when you pagan, when you use the word blessed, it means you sprinkling blood on altars and this and that, whatever. I mean, it goes deep, you know. Because Zephaniah says he's going to restore a pure language. You know, this is the truth. And I walk in truth. I walk in my authentic self. Excuse me, I'm so tired, but I'm up. You know, and I got to continue to be obedient to him regardless at the end of the day. You know, nobody knows my struggles. Nobody understands my struggles. Nobody can walk a mile in my shoes. Because I know if they try, they would either give up real quick or they kill themselves. To be met with the oppositions that I go through on a daily basis. See, but the thing is, the things don't work no more. You know, there's no sorcery against Yaakov and Yasharel. That means there's no sorcery against Jacob and Israel. You know, those who curse me, let them be accursed. Scripture says, you know, suffer not a wish to live, a wish shall not labor. See, a lot of people don't understand what we're going up against. This is a spiritual battle. These are the dark forces in the heavenly realms and high places and stuff like that. See, people seeking omens and seeking ghosts and everything else and thinking it's okay for them to do what they do and how they operate. See, they operate out of a rebellious nature. See, Satan is rebellious. That means he's adversary. That means he's the enemy. A lot of people work out of enmity and decision, factions and groups and secret societies, Illuminati, and stuff like that. People don't understand the warfare what they put on this world. The spell work, the curses, people smile on your face and cuss about you behind your back, and they're doing that in the church and the place of worship. That's what said, come out of falsehood, come out of man-made religion, and this is what it is. You know, he only goes by one name. I'm going to call on Yahuwah or Allah. And I know this thing is about me. You know, this is the truth. I ain't got to convince nobody, but y'all can call on whoever y'all call on. I'm going to call on who I call on. I'm going to constantly be obedient to him. I give my life for him. I trust him with all my heart, with all my soul, and all my mind. You know, those who know. See, his name was hidden in plain sight. He was in their movies. I put stuff out here. You know, I got other platforms besides YouTube. I got Facebook. I got TikTok. I got Instagram and stuff like that. You know, Facebook, Yahushua HaMashiach. My channel on here is Son of Man. You know, Yahuwah Alua on Instagram or whatever it is on TikTok. But I got this content out here. I mean, you know, our people suffer from a lack of knowledge. You know, we've been behind the 8 ball for 400 years, ever since we were sold into slavery from 1619 to 2019. You know, I know what happened in 2019. COVID happened. You know, but 400 years has been up. See, by us being rebellious and worshiping how they worship. See, we was beaten to worship who they worship. They took the scriptures and they rewrote it and everything else. This is what the Emperor Constantine did, King James, the Roman Catholic Church. You know, they use scriptures to benefit them. See, while we was being exiled, while we was being punished and stuff like that, they took it too far. See, there's missing books that speaks on the book of Enoch. It speaks on, that's why they banned it. That's why they took, when I was growing up, they used to have the 10 Commandments in front of the courthouse. They moved that because they don't want us to know who we are. See, they say the greatest crime was the Holocaust. No, the greatest crime is erasing the people, erasing their true name and their true heritage and destiny swapping. See, that's one thing about me. I'm going to speak this truth, and I'm going to continue to speak it till I get results, until the truth come out. But at the end of the day, but he fights our battles for us. He's not a man that shall lie. His word doesn't come back void. And there's still an empty grave. And I'm still here. And I'm here by the authority he's given to me, not man. So it doesn't matter what it looks like. A lot of y'all biblical scholars, y'all know what the prophet Samuel, what he tell the prophet Samuel. Don't judge by his outward appearance, for the Most High searches the heart. See, a lot of people, they don't believe, or they worship him with their mouth, but their heart's far from him. Because there's a lot of people, and I thank people, my true family, my true soul tribe family, the people that really loves me, that cares for me, that speak life to me, that prophesy to me, that minister to me, to get me to the point where I'm at right now. You know, it's all the Most High doing. But he has stored his children into my life to help me, to lead me, to guide me, to point me that I'm never alone. So I know I'm never alone. But if my physical location, I'm alone. There's nobody on the side of me. You know, I have to find places, you know, to charge up my phone. You know, I don't beg nobody for money. You know, I'm eating things that are not healthy, but things cost money. You know, how I want to eat healthy. I want to take care of this temple. I stay away from pork. That's why I actually just stay away from meat altogether, because these beef and stuff like that, there's not enough cattle on this earth to feed all these people in different states across the world. So there's a lot of kids and people coming up missing. You know, animals not being sacrificed, they're being slaughtered. They're being killed. And we eating dead flesh. You know, this is no jab on nobody or nothing like that. But me, how I choose to eat fruits and vegetables, you know, greens. And this is what I choose to do, because I love myself. And the animals crying out and we eating dead flesh, I can't do that no more. But people going to do how they want to do. People going to live their life how they want to live their life. I just know, me personally, I want better for myself. You know, but it's not my fault that people stole from me. People continue to steal from me. People continue to lie and keep things from me. But it's okay though. He got me. He got me. And I got myself. Ain't nobody gonna speak life in me. I speak life to myself every day. So you can't tell me that I don't know what you're going through. I've been through a lot of stuff. I've been through the HELL process on this earth, where people was doing this to me, doing that to me, setting me up, recording me, following me on a daily basis. But you know what? I still got the victory because he never lost the battle, and he never will. But I'm not speaking out of pain. I'm speaking out of assurance, just knowing who I am with the confidence in me that I'm going to continue to speak this, I'm going to continue to walk it, I'm going to continue to talk it. You know, what can mere man do to me? Not a thing. I fear what he can do. He can destroy the body and the soul. So that means honoring him means everything to me. Being a frontline soldier for the kingdom of the Shamayim, kingdom of heaven, means everything to me. And no, I'm not Muslim. This is how the true Hebrews, the true children of Yasharel, spoke. Somebody came to me, he didn't even know. He said, man, there's a lot of things I need to know. And I just told him, I was like, he's like, you don't eat meat? I said, no, I don't eat things that's being murdered. He said, well, you Muslim? I said, no, I'm a Hebrew. They can keep Judaism. They can call themselves Jews. I'm not going to call myself a Jew. I'm going to call myself a Hebrew. I am the line of Yehuda, which is Judah, because we know there was never a letter J in our language. I mean, y'all can look this up. I mean, but you know, people can deny it, but like I said, the Creator only goes by one name. That's Yahuwah or Allah. And there's a lot of people that know this. Our enemies know this. But our people suffer from a lack of knowledge because they forgot, because we was beaten into submission. We was raped, we was murdered, our baby was sent to gators, we was oppressed. We had to take on their name. Take on their last name. Take on our slave master name. We worship how they worship. And there's something wrong. The same false creator they worship is telling us how to worship. See, but he pours his spirit out on all people. See, what the enemy meant for evil, he can turn around and make it for good. See, this is the good thing. This is the good news. The good news that his name never left and his name never changed. And we know the Messiah's name is Yahushua HaMashiach, not JC. And I hope this pricks the heart of people, to wake my people up, because our people is suffering and dying. They too busy waiting for 40 acres and a mule. Now, the natives of this land that was already here, they was part of the 12 tribes and stuff like that. So we know they came in, invaded a land that was already occupied, murdered the natives of this land, used us to build this country when we were sold into slavery, wiped out the natives of this land and everything else, and still telling people to get out this country, where this country belongs to the people who really was here first. They wasn't here first. So, but our people, it's time for y'all to remember the promises that he had for us and cleave to the promises, to prepare your hearts, to prepare your minds, because these days are dark and people are, you know, your money's not going to save you. You know, stack up how you can stack up. Families come together. I don't care where you at. I don't care if your family live in one state and two of them live in this state. Y'all need to come together. You know, everybody needs to be at Big Mama's house. You know, whoever got the biggest house in the family, that's where everybody needs to go. Everybody need to pull their resources together, and then y'all need to sacrifice. Y'all need to plant. Y'all need to do what y'all got to do, because these days are dark and ways is going on in this government system. Everybody's going to be hurting. Everybody's going to be hurting. So I suggest that y'all, brothers and sisters, sons and daughters, elders alike, foreigners and aliens and Gentile nations, prepare your hearts, prepare what's come, prepare yourself. Because we already know we're living in the last days. These days are short, and they're going by real quick. So I'm not worried. What the thing is, what hurts is not me being able to take care of myself the way I need to. For the past 2 months, I was going to the hospital bathroom, washing myself. For 2 months, same routine every day. But this past week, never seen the security guard before. He was ahead of me. He saw me walking towards. He kept looking back at me, I'm not paying no attention. He goes in before me. I go into the same door he goes in because that's the door I go in every day. I speak to people when I walk in. I see a couple of security guards and stuff like that. They don't bother me. But this particular day, this man did. He go down these stairs. I'm making a left to go to the bathroom. I go in there, relieve myself, reading scriptures while I'm sitting. He gonna come and knock on the door. And you all right there? I said, yes, I'm using the bathroom. And then the man just gonna stay there. Now I finally get up, flush the toilet and stuff like that, and I'm ready to clean myself. I got my own soap now. I just ran out of soap, and everything else. And he gonna stay there and bang on the door. Then he gonna call other officers and stuff. I'm like, other security guards, like, you got people here? I mean, I do this every day. The hospital is open to the public. You mean tell me I cannot use the bathroom? What type of country, what type of people, what type of system would deny a person who wants to clean himself, that's out here on the street, don't have nowhere to go, is ostracized from his family, being obedient to the Most High, but want to keep this temple clean the best way he can? And so they gonna call his supervisor this big old bald white dude. I'm not racist against nobody because he's a father of us all. He's the Abba of us all. But at the end of the day, he gonna tell me, he's like, I said, first of all, I don't bow down to you. I bow down. I listen to my Creator. And they coming in and stuff, and there's one black dude and stuff like that. And the dude that followed me, I can tell he was shaking. I can tell he had demons up in him. And the other tall dude, he think he big, white, and bad and stuff like that he can rule over people and stuff like that, pissing them off. He got demons up in him. And then the other two in the background just standing there just looking. And the black dude was like, trying to come. I said, man, at least you level-headed and stuff like that. That was like, dude kept arguing with me. I was like, hold on, I don't move until I get ready to move. I said, I'm in them trying to clean myself. And they want me out, and they stand there watching me. I'm like, hold on, man, I don't need y'all watching me. I'm not no child, But that was disrespectful. Then they banned me from the hospital. See, homeless people don't have nowhere to clean up. I can't be around a lot of people. There's a lot of wickedness around here. There's a lot of demons around here. There's a lot of witches and warlocks around here. There's a lot of people that follow me around here. A lot of energy-sucking vampires around here. So I have to be careful and strategic on how I move and stuff like that. When people follow me around every day, I try to be in isolation the best way I can. I can't be isolated because they still follow me. They still come around me. Negative people, negative energies come around me. But I had to do the best I can. I'm trying to do the best I can to do the things he needs for me to do, to be watching my back. But I don't fear no man. But this spiritual warfare is real and stuff like that. So I'm out here on the daily. Can't depend on nobody. Can't ask nobody for nobody because he doesn't want me to ask anybody for money. I'm out here eating things, unprocessed food, and places I go, I tell them like, yo, I got, instead of just, there's people that don't eat meat. And they tell me, well, we're going to fix what we want to fix and how we want to fix it. You don't have to eat here. Eating things that's expired. And y'all think it's easy out here. A lot of people A lot of people, I can't walk a mile in my shoes. I didn't even want y'all to. But I've been through all type of mess just for y'all. And I will continue to go through all type of mess for y'all. Because I want the best for y'all. I do. I care about y'all. I love y'all. But I'm not taking no bull crap. I'm not taking no mess. I'm not taking no shorts. And you know, you come with me, you gotta be about kingdom business. If you're not on kingdom business, you know, that mean I'm gonna look down on you. That means I gotta do what I gotta do, and I got responsibilities of my own. Things I need to do, things I need to do. You know, kingdom-minded people and stuff like that. Those, I mean, and I petition and Palau that y'all look, see things how he sees things. You know, y'all surrender to him and repent and just be engulfed and be all about him. And let him be your rock and your foundation. Let him lead you and guide you, protect you and provide for you. We can talk. There's a lot of people that's already on that level. You know, there's a lot of people that's already ahead of the game and they already know what it's about. You know, those are the type of people I want in my atmosphere. But I don't have to seek nobody. I don't have to seek validation from nobody. You know, I love who I love. I petition and allow for those who I love and care for. You know, regardless if they did to me, if they're here for me, if they ain't here for me. But my thing is, I'm not entertaining no bullcrap, and I ain't taking no shorts. And I ain't gonna let nobody speak negative over my life. I'm going to continue regardless of what they think and how they feel about me. It's not about them. It's about the Creator and me loving myself and wanting what's best for myself. And I know He poured into me. He poured into me daily. I asked Him. I got to keep asking Him. Because this is how I'm going to make it. And a lot of people think I get this on my own and do this on my own. No, I don't. It's a lifestyle. You know, look at Job. You know, look at Joseph. Look at Daniel. Look at the Messiah. Look at the apostles and the prophets. What they went through in their life. You know what I'm saying? This is all a spiritual thing. And a lot of people think the Most High don't exist. They think it's, you know, all make-believe and all show. I'm just saying like this. He forgave me for all of my sins. He can forgive you too. When I know I should be in 6 feet deep, the life I used to live, that person that used to be here, oh man. And these people looking at me like, how in the hell? They cannot believe I'm still walking, I'm still talking, I'm still breathing. People tried to assassinate me on my birthday last year. Had this cement thing, literally the thing was cut off and landed on top of my head, and people were looking and they seeing how I'm walking away from this. They get out their car and think I didn't remember that. I went to the hospital to make sure. They just let me stay for a few hours and bam, and let me go. But I didn't want no brain damage, but I didn't know. I didn't know what was going on with me. People poisoned me with drugs, laced drinks, and I'm still here, and they are shocked and surprised that I'm still here. But you know what? It's not His will. It wasn't my time. And I'm still here. And I'm grateful, I'm thankful I'm able to think, see, smell, touch, walk, talk, have functions of my, you know, people did some nasty things to me, some sick things to me from childhood all the way to about like a year and a half ago. I've been through plenty of battles. So the battle ain't done till all of this is done. Till this earth is purged of darkness and wickedness. Until period. Until Judgment Day. In Judgment Day, everybody gonna meet judgment. What you sow on this earth, you shall reap. You may not reap it. It may be somebody that you care about. And I know what I'm talking about. I've seen a lot of people, they didn't reap it, but the people they cared about lost their lives. Just think about Pharaoh and Moses. When he was pleading to him to let his people go, the Most High kept the river of blood, and locusts and frogs, death of the cattle, diseases, until and they kept being rebellious and kept doing things that's they're not paying attention, they're not listening, they're not listening to the words of the Most High until He came in and smite their firstborn sons. So I have family members that lost either their only sons or they lost their sons because family is doing divination. So what you sow on this earth, you shall reap. I don't care if you forgive yourself. If He forgiving you, you're going to have to go through something because He doesn't forget. He may forgive us. He forgave me, and I still had to go through what I had to go through. I had to learn the lessons I needed to learn. But I put more a lot of good out here, And I think about it, when Job, he's like, man, he ain't really done, I put a lot of good out here and stuff like that. He's like, why not you? Who's the creator? Who runs this? Who runs this show? So no matter what I did, I acted out of ignorance because I wanted love. I wanted people to care for me. I wanted people to be there for me. I wanted people to stand by my side. I had much love, and I wanted them to win. I wanted to work hard. I wanted to do all these things. I want, be honest with you, I sought validation and people pleasing. Let me see, in relationships that was toxic, but not knowing what I know now. So I had to learn these lessons, so I'm grateful and I'm thankful for the lessons. I thank Him for the wilderness season. Even though I'm out here, I don't know how long it's going to be out here, but I'm holding on to His promise that He has for me. And the people don't want me to have it, well, it's not up to them. It's not up to them. My hands off of it. I release them. I forgive. I love, and I forgive. Anybody had a hand of doing something to me, I don't care if you poisoned me. I don't care if you set me up. I don't care if you shot at me. I don't care if you stole from me. I'm just letting you know right now, I forgive you. And I release you. I got a life I got to live. And I hope and pray that the Most High have mercy on you. Forgive them for they not know what they do, but they know what they did. And it's not my problem. It's not my problem. I shake the dust off my feet and I'm moving forward, regardless. And I've been through a lot. But I'm okay. I'm thankful and I'm grateful. But this don't sit well with me, but I have to wait. I don't beg people for no money. I shouldn't have to. People don't understand my struggles. Some people do. Some people, they had to, and I commend them. I celebrate them. I celebrate them for being strong, never giving up, standing on biblical principles, and they got it the right way. I support people like those. Those are doing His will. Those who speak life into me. Y'all know who y'all are. You know who you are. You know who you are. And I'm grateful and I'm thankful that the Most High put y'all in my life to speak life to me, to help guide me. That just speaks words of encouragement, for me to continue to fight. And those who allow and petition for me, you know who you are. And I'm so grateful and I'm so thankful. And I love you with everything that's in me. And I'm looking forward to that day. I'm looking forward to that day. And I'm grateful for it. I'm grateful for the love. I'm grateful for the support. I know nobody has to say a word. The bare minimum. And I've been getting the bare minimum my whole life. I have. But I know what's in the person's heart. And I know the sincerity. I know the conviction. I know the protection. I know. And I know. And I receive it. And I'm thankful and I'm grateful. With all humility, with all respect. You got my loyalty. You got my trust. But I don't have to prove myself. You already know what it is. and the rest of those who speak life to me that's on this, that have this platform, that's on this YouTube. Thank you. I see you. No matter where you at on this earth, y'all speak life to me. Walk heavy, light that shines so bright. Prophetess Nikki, anybody and everybody. Shonda, everybody. I call y'all. I call you. If I miss a name, forgive me for missing names. Sometimes, but certain people, I'm thankful and I'm grateful. I'm grateful without humility, without respect. I trust and I believe and I'm grateful. So no matter what they want, continue to do what the Most High see, what the enemy meant for evil, he can turn around and make it for good. Those who know, you have to be mindful that people been behind the 8 ball for 400 years. And they was taught to speak and say certain things. So it's going to be a transitioning phase because I'm still transitioning. There's still words I got to learn, and and I'm determined to learn it. There's still words, alphabets, and letters, and symbols and stuff that we have to learn. And so, don't quick to write out people that doesn't speak it, but I know we have to speak it. We have to speak it. We have to know it, and everything else. And there's a lot of people that's they got to take their time. A lot of people are acknowledging the scriptures. A lot of people that works for the Most High. A lot of people are called. But don't quick to write out people so quick and judge people so quick that since they don't speak it, but now people are coming to the truth. They are waking up to the truth. It's going to take people some time, but if they want it, they want it. So I'm just saying that to say this. I'm grateful and I'm thankful, and I hope my message, because I've been through a lot. I've been through a lot. I don't know what it is to be a woman and have females' anatomy and stuff like that. But I know how it is to be cheated on. I know how it is to be set up. I know how it is to be having family members did you dirty, did you wrong. A lot of people been raped by their parents, their fathers, their mothers, their aunties, their uncles, their cousins, their husbands, their wives, and everything like that. So some people being been sodomized. I know what that's like as a child. So I went through all type of stuff. So don't think people ain't been through nothing. Everybody goes through something. A lot of people is not strong enough to recover. A lot of people trauma bond. They don't know how to heal from childhood trauma, from word curses and things like that. So they dabble into drugs and alcohol. They dabble into prostitution. They dabble into stripping. They dabble into getting into gangs and everything else. Join dark covens and secret societies because they've been bullied and been harassed and been ostracized and stuff like that. A lot of people don't understand. People being bullied in the church. They left the church. He dwells in us. This is the temple of the Most High. You can have the kingdom in heaven, and we can live and walking and talking and stuff like that if you only surrender to the Most High. This is the temple. That's why I said be sober-minded. Purify your temple. Stay away from things that doesn't serve you. Drugs, alcohol, eating wrong. Pork is a sin. Pork is an unclean animal. People love their sausage and their bacon, pork chops, pork ribs, pork loins, pork bellies, pork skins. All these things, people love this stuff and don't realize that they killing themselves, but you wonder why you got high blood pressure, diabetes, having strokes and heart attacks, eating things that are unclean, shellfish, crab legs, crawfish, lobster, catfish, eating duck, eating meat with blood in it. This is what they do. I can't do it. I ain't gonna be a part of it, but I ain't gotta explain myself. I just want y'all to know that I love y'all and I care about y'all. And I know it's getting late, but hey, I be thankful and grateful when I'm able to get to rest. When I'm ready to get to soak in the tub and take me a bath or take me a hot shower. But I can't go back to my family. My family that did things to me, that lied to me, that robbed me, that practiced divination, try to gaslight me and everything else. I'm not going back to that mess. There's days I'm able to clean myself. There's days I ain't able to clean myself. I gotta wash these same things on a daily basis and freeze my butt off and walk around with it wet to the sunbeams and it dries and stuff like that. People not understanding, but I do understand because there's people in this country, on this earth, that go through the same thing. So I know and I understand what they're going through. I understand how they feel. I understand they're not able to eat how they want to eat. I understand the poor out here. So a lot of these people that are rich, they too busy and when the Most High bless, favor them to achieve the money, the success, the bank account, and stuff like that, but they forgot. I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do here. But a lot of these politicians, these big corporations and stuff like that support guns and mass incarcerations and just things, support these mega churches and everything else. They pay them to only speak on certain things, but don't speak the truth. They know the truth. The truth is right there in front of them. They're only allowed to speak certain things and stuff like that. So he said, the poor you're going to have with you always. He said, what are you going to do? He's like, how can I enter? Give up everything. Give up everything. Sacrifice. Be obedient. But people ain't going to do it. So, but those who know, continue to hold your head up. Continue to walk by faith, not by sight. Continue to be obedient and trusting in the Most High that He's going to come and deliver you. I got to do it. I got to believe it. And I know one day, nobody knows the day or the hour, but only the Father knows. So, continue to seek His face. Continue to delight yourself in His presence. Continue to surrender. It's a daily surrender. It's a daily submit. It's a daily repent. You have to. This is how you're going to make it. You can't make it no other way. I love y'all, and I hope to see y'all soon.